Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on? Man, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, back in 2012, XRP just may have been a security. Now, I know we've covered some of this topic, but there was some analysis, legal analysis that was provided back in 2012 that said, you know what? XRP is in fact not a security. Fast forward to 2021, the SEC doesn't care because they waited 8 or 9 years and they said, you know what, guys, we're still going to sue you. And here we go, a year after that, 2022, and we got this massive SEC v. Ripple lawsuit. SEC going after XRP. SEC is getting crazy out there because they're going after all sorts of entities like Library, and who knows where they're going to stop, because next could be Kraken, could be Celsius, could be who knows where, Chip. But we're going to talk about that and a lot more because but
I jumped the gun a little bit, Jeff. Sorry. A whole lot more, and then you kept going. I was like, that was the entry point.
All right, a whole lot more.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Oh, that was going to be my special
long-winded
jumping point. Is like, and a whole lot more. Then right into
that would have been awesome, dude.
Right into the open, man. We go right into the open, and we bring it.
From now on, you guys are here live while we're doing figuring out.
It's a live show, Jeff. There's gonna be some issues.
I love it.
Play the wrong open. Play the close of the open. Funny thing is, just a button. I mean, you're just like just a little bit off, and you click the wrong one, and then you're on to something else. But
just waiting, and it's like it's exciting.
It certainly is. You know, I want to start this. I'd like to start this off. Oh, where? I guess why don't we get into some business news, some business XRP,
right,
Ripple, XRP, Ripple.
Let's go into the news before we get into the news. Get into the old news. Man, this gimbal's in front of my face and it's way too big. Got to put it down. Got the gimbal out today and it didn't work.
What? Batteries? Does it charge? Do you have to
charge? Everything was perfect. Got the app connected.
Oh, man.
Did the connected and then it just dies.
It just it stopped working.
Just stopped working.
That's no good. That's no bueno, man.
No,
that's not good at all. That's not good at all. So here's a couple things. I'm just queuing these stories up here, Jeff, but I think this is interesting because it seems like as much that's going on with Ripple, the real news is happening with the partners. And here's some more partner news today, which is fantastic on every account. But I'll go ahead and share the story here. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, so here's
the partner.
Here we go. Hang on a second. I'm bringing it up. Things are jumping all over the screen like crazy. The ads are popping up all over the place. I might have to go back to using my other browser. But here we go. Look at this. Everybody knows Qantas, Australian airline, Aussie airline. Business Rewards takes flight in the global payments. You're probably asking yourself, well, how? How is that, Jeff? How is that
possible? What kind of global payments are they going to take into flights?
Businesses will soon be able to earn Qantas points at international transactions made through Air Wallets. And if that name looks familiar, because that is a Ripple partner. So there you go. So they're going to do it through Air Wallets.
Somewhere.
Yeah, Qantas and Melbourne-based fintech colossus Air Wallets are teaming up to launch a new platform enabling small and medium-sized companies to earn frequent flyer points whenever they perform international transactions. Kind of getting what's going on here, Jeff. International transactions, Ripple partner in there.
Sounding very, very familiar up to this 70% cheaper than big banks.
Right. Yeah, reading ahead, Jeff. Reading ahead, when it debuts in the second quarter of 2022, Qantas Business Money will allow businesses to set up online accounts in 11 popular worldwide currencies for local payments and access foreign conversion rates, which Qantas claims are up to 70% cheaper. Oh my gosh, Jeff, than what? Big banks. Yikes. Members of the Qantas Business Rewards program will earn an initial sign-up bonus of 25,000 points, ongoing rate of 1 point for every Australian $10 transacted, and payments can be made using the virtual Visa business debit card set up in the destination currency to enable fast transactions and reconciliation.
Pretty exciting. How much
That's
money
new. Yeah, it's fantastic. Hybrid between a preloaded international travel money card and a PayPal-style instant payment card system. Qantas Business Money, built on the foundation of the AirWallet's global payments platform, which raised 800 million US, including a US 40 million investment from Atlassian co-founder Scott Farquhar. If you guys don't know Atlassian, those are tools a lot of devs use, especially a tool called Jira, which is a ticketing system that I've been using for the last, I don't know, since it came out, 12, 15 years. That's another Australian company.
Man, so you know what's amazing to me? You always look around. Australia puts out a lot of tech, and Australia's been putting out a lot of fintech.
They do, Jeff.
And Australia's been putting a lot of payment rails that happen to be blockchain based. Over the past couple years, we've talked about them. Australia they seem to be a little bit, forward thinking.
In some areas, Jeff, when it comes to
say that.
when it comes to some things, yes.
Caveat.
Yeah, other areas not so much, but that's because this is coming from the people. The people are really
people get it.
They're innovative. They get it. They're innovative. Yeah. They're builders. They're making stuff, and they don't care what's going on over there. That's a distraction. Let's continue to do it. AirWallet's birth is a small business story in its own right. The venture was started right after the owners of a Melbourne Docklands Cafe tucking company noticed the complexity of high exchange rates involved in buying coffee cups and labels from overseas suppliers. That was the seed. Yeah, I wonder which overseas supplier they were purchasing from. That was the seed to develop a modern real-time international payment solution, which is now valued at a staggering $5.5 billion. Imagine that, Jeff. They started out as a coffee place, Tuck and Company.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at two things here, that are interesting. So, so you bring that up, the idea of a coffee place, owners of Melbourne Docklands Cafe, right? And so here's what's interesting. They noticed the complexities and high exchange fees in buying coffee cups and labels from overseas suppliers. Now, Chip, where does that kind of resonate? When we look at the movement of funds or doing any type of international transaction, and we've referenced this multiple times, and this is where the business space is really, just, primed and ready, for some real-time payment solutions, but it's got to go way beyond just the payment solution. There's so much more that is orchestrated in that transaction. They mentioned the complexities and high exchange fees. Now the solution here, the payment solution solves one of them. That's the high exchange fees and moving the money, instead of doing a bank wire. But there's still a lot of other complexities involved in that transaction that they may or may not be, tackling here. But they're talking about real-time international payments, which sounds very Ripple-esque.
Well, that's probably why they partner with Ripple. AirWallet CEO Jack Zhang, one of the original founders and owners of Tuck & Company, says the partnership with Qantas is a testament to the strength of our competitive global financial infrastructure that we built over the last 6 years. That doesn't sound like it was written by an attorney at all. It rolls right off your tongue there. Our platform
I say that all the time, exactly like that.
We're going to go lawyer this a little bit, make it a little bit more, put a little more buzzwords in there, make it a little bigger than it is. Like, the original quote was Qantas loves what we do. No, we can't have that. No, it's a testament to the strength of our competitive global financial infrastructure we built over the last 6 years. Oh, that sounds about kind of right. Yeah.
Yes.
And look at this one, Jeff. Our platform empowers small businesses to operate globally without complexities and removes barriers to international expansion. Boy, we've heard that before, Jeff.
For that quite a bit.
Tony Nikro, who's Sydney-based freight forwarder, Nikos Customs and Trade Services, does business in Asia, North America, and Europe, was among one of the 170 SMBs to trial Qantas Business Money in 2021. Nikro said the platform overcame challenges with traditional financial services, which can be complex, slow, and involve a lot of red tape. I'd never used anything like it before. It's not like a setup like a bank or a money transfer, which we predominantly used in the past. And this is cool because they're kind of redefining what it looks like, and it doesn't resemble the old school sort of like a money transfer or a standard type of a bank. Structurally, it was different, quick, easy, much better value.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting, Chip. As we're referencing this, and this kind of goes back to something that we've talked about way back, and we probably haven't mentioned this, for a while, and that is specifically regarding the technology. Now, we can't say 100% for certain without digging a little further. I'm sure they're not going to reveal
Hmm.
any specific signed agreements utilizing RippleNet. Although you brought up, Airwallex being a partner. When there's a lot of similarities, a lot of the right language. But here's the point: as these companies start building, utilizing, whether it's a blockchain technology or if they're using the crypto-based technology, at the end of the day, people that are benefiting from this platform don't care about the back end part of the technology as much. We're really interested to say, hey, where are we connecting the dots? But I guarantee the people that are using the solution, they're not thinking about the intricacies. They're not saying, hey, how did you guys move my money instant? How am I
I don't
getting real
care.
time? They're like, I get real time payments. Sign me up.
Right.
Oh, it
Exactly,
uses
Jeff.
ODL and it's moving through the blockchain and blah blah blah, and and all these
Cares.
things going on, and 589, and they're not thinking about,
Not thinking about Riddlers or anything like
they're not
that.
thinking about riddlers. They're
Mr.
just like
Pool, none of that.
instant
Baba
payments. That's
Cogs are just
awesome.
like it works. They don't think about that.
They don't think about
But
any of it.
and it's funny from the business perspective. He's like, look, it didn't resemble anything we used in the past. It wasn't like these money transfers, the old bank setup. It just worked, and it was a quick setup, and we don't have to think about it anymore. It says some businesses may find the full Airwallex platform a better fit for their needs than Qantas white label version. One key difference is that while Qantas Business Money supports 11 currencies, Airwallex offers more than 30. And I bet you they offer a lot
Airwallex.
more.
Oh,
Yes.
Airwallex.
Yeah, Airwallex.
I
So
was
what it
seeing
is,
things a
it's
little bit differently.
it's a white label solution. So I wasn't sure about that.
So let's see if we can pull up Airwallex. That'd be interesting to take a
I
look.
have it.
Yeah.
There
Do
we
you have
go.
it?
See, I got it
Pull
all.
it up.
See,
Look at
here
this.
you go. Look at here's Ripple partner Airwallex secures an SMB license from the Central Bank of Malaysia.
Hmm.
Here's another one. Ripple partner Airwallex would raise
Look at that.
160 million for a payment
Whoa.
solution.
Wow. 160.
There it is right there. And then bam, let's open it up.
Let's go.
And there it is. Airwallex, a business account built for the modern business.
Business. Look at that.
Unlock, which sounds very familiar, Jeff. I think you know what
Yep.
I'm talking about there.
It does.
Global payments, your business operates unique, accomplish it all with Airwallex, get started, contact sales. There's your Airwallex Visa card. And it's been on TechCrunch, CNBC, KPMG. We're not a bank.
So
We're better.
we are better than a bank. And that's really cool, So we're really starting to see, some of the elements presenting themselves within all of these other companies. And I think we're going to continuously see more and more of this development. And that's the interesting side of everything, as we start really understanding the intricacies of whether it's blockchain or crypto or whichever direction we're moving in. There's so much more to look at and really understand. And I think from
Yeah,
that perspective, it's phenomenal.
without a doubt. Like borderless cards, you can create a physical or virtual Visa card in seconds. It's one of the reasons I love privacy.com so much. Just because you can spin up burner cards, spin up a one-time use card, you can program it for what you want to do it, you can set a limit. And this is some of the things we're talking about. Before it was just like you had a card, you had whatever your limit was, but you can create limits. You can do the same way you can program other things and smart contracts. Are starting to get more involved with what you can actually do when you want to move your money, transfer funds across the globe without those excessive fees. So you can start to see that spend less on FX fees, 0.4%. That's 1% above our interbank FX rate. You always get the best FX rates. And if they're moving it fast, they're not really worried too much about the volatility, which is nice. That's sort of built in. Reach new markets with foreign currency accounts. So you can have another account, suppose you're oscillating between two places. It's a great thing. So in USD, convert USD. There's your euro, your Australian dollar, your pound. So it's a cool thing, man. It's a great thing to see all this energy and partnerships, and everyone's partnering with everybody, and it's just like you lose sight of that. It's happening daily almost. I would say we always have a story at least daily, and we don't always catch them all. There's always something going on, Jeff, but I think it's fantastic. And this one I thought was fantastic. Somehow we have to find a way, Jeff, And I'll say this, we have to find a way to get Serge on $5 billion, because if he had $5 billion, he would have at least 7 coffee shops, each on every continent, plus one hipster coffee shop in California with double prices. So I like that. Double prices. Why not just make it triple? What the hell?
But the question is, why do you need $5 billion to
I don't
open
think you need.
7 coffee shops?
Well, I think what he's saying is that if he had money to burn, like he probably would do something like that, or he just doesn't care. I don't know. It's hard to really to judge. What's up, Crypto Pioneer Ed? What's going on? $5 billion. I mean, I don't even think you need $5 billion, quite honestly. I mean, that seems like a little bit overkill. Those are some coffee shops, right? Be like maybe like the size of like a warehouse, one of these warehouse stores like Costco or BJ's, where it's just all coffee and all machines, and it would just that's all they do is coffee.
Sweet. Oh, could you imagine? That'd be awesome. You go to Costco.
My God, Jeff, we would be
like one massive size coffee shop. You get all sorts of things going on
there. You could have different little cafes in there that will serve up like for every continent. The 7 continents in there, in his massive
7
warehouse.
continents in one warehouse. That's the Costco of coffee shops. Man, I love that idea. What a phenomenal idea. Now watch it pop up somewhere. The 7 continents, and you can call the name of the business would be the 7 continents of coffee.
Right? I love that, Jeff. And you see how easy you can deter us on this show? You just throw up one little comment and we're off for
so
a
instead
good
of 1 coffee shop on every one of the 7, just one coffee shop that could then expand into, and then you have the samplings of the different coffees. So you come in, well, I'm going to go to today's, Africa Day, today's Hawaiian Day. Today, I'm going to get some nice Turkish coffee. And when you go in, you get the experience and vibe like you're in an old, Turkish coffee shop or like cafe, or you want to get like some Italian roast and you go over to the Italian section, and you got the Italian guys behind the counter roasting and pouring your espresso, and you kind of got, a little area with Italian music going. Man, that'd be awesome. Then you get the hipster area, get a little jazz, and then of course you got to have a whiskey bar, because what would a coffee shop be without a whiskey bar somewhere?
Especially some Irish whiskey, because you have Irish coffees, Jeff, with the heavy cream in it, a la San Francisco style. You have to have that. So that would be in the San Francisco shop.
Man, what a great idea.
What a fantastic idea. Man, we're off on another area. The OTC, the on-the-chain coffee spectacular. Man.
This is OTC Business Hour. Bring your ideas and we'll develop them.
Yeah, we'll just start developing them, and some people have already tuned out. But if you're here, you know what I would say, Jeff? If you're here, you might as well do one thing, and that's right. Click the thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, and why not? You have nothing to lose. Go ahead, do it. You can do it. Subscribe, click that notification bell. Why not? You can do it. You can do it.
You do it.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Well, Jeff, on another story right here, I had threw this into a sort of a DM chat group that I'm part of, and this is interesting because I don't know if it's real, but if it's coming to this, man, we got to start rethinking a lot of stuff. So Steads put up there, he said, picking up dinner for my 6-year-old. Well, obviously ordering at the bar and snagging a drink while I wait, standard dad move. You know that move, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
You've been there. I'll get the kids some food, right? Temporary inflation fee of $2. So this is Romano's Macaroni Grill. You got a temporary inflation fee shoved in there. A local bottle of $5.50. There's the kids' grilled chicken.
Tell you what, a lot easier to increase the cost by $2 and go to $11.50 instead of $9.50.
Of course, we know Romano's Macaroni Grill. We have them down here in South Florida. I don't know, is that a South Florida thing, or is that just like a chain all over the country?
Honestly, I've never seen one.
There's one in Boca. Romano's Macaroni Grill.
I think it's only in Boca.
No, actually, no, it's all over the place. But there it is.
I've never seen one.
It's a temporary inflation fee. Now, I've heard a rumor that it'll be $4 in 2 weeks. It's like still temporary, but I'm sorry, inflation. It's changing. We have to increase the price. It's just the way things go, kids. Sorry, kids.
Inflation devalues the value of your fiat currency and will hopefully increase the value of your digital currency. Hence,
isn't that something?
Cryptocurrency. Hey, check this. I thought this was kind of cool. It's funny. David Schwartz has had some funny things going on over the past couple of days. One of them, he was showing off his 1,400 speed internet. Then I had to comment. I said, that's just as exciting as when I went from 14.4K to 56K modem.
Remember that?
But that was funny. But anyhow, but John Deaton was saying here, I thought this was funny. He said, I've never met Ripple CTO and certainly don't know him on any level, but even Ripple haters must respect Joel Katz's transparency. And here he said, mostly XRP, Bitcoin, and ETH. I still have small amounts of various other ones. I have Songbird and XFi from airdrops, right? And then,
But he has a lot.
I'm sure he
has
has
a lot less
more
Ethereum. A lot less Ethereum these days.
But he has a really cool solar panel.
There you go.
But I believe that he was responding. I think he was responding to this, because if I click his tweet,
No, he's responding to his own tweet, I think. Oh no, Deaton's tweet. There you go.
Yeah, it looks like he's replying to Deaton right there. He said, "I feel like I know you, but that's probably a me problem."
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about all the Rebel people. It's like, we know Garlinghouse. Come on, man. We know Garlinghouse. We know them all. Here's who we don't know right there.
But we don't. Well, like this, better than having a we problem. These little piggies went we all the way to the top of the SEC.
That's clever.
It's just, man, it's kind of classic stuff that comes out with these guys. But I'll tell you what, here's one I wanted to pull up, as I thought this is really solid, kind of a good starting point. And then there's, I don't know if you saw the chart, but let me pull this up. This is John Deaton. Exactly the point here. So he's responding to Bill here. Good man. I note that XRP, called Ripple, is described with Litecoin and Bitcoin as decentralized in one slide. This was 2013. That was Perkins Coie view, not inconsistent with the 2012 advice. How much more was it decentralized by June of 2018? Right. Then John Deaton's response was exactly the point here. If XRP was ever an investment contract to Ripple, it would have been most likely one in 2012. Yet the legal conclusion was that it was not. As each year passed, the XRP ecosystem grew and XRP became less and less of an investment contract of Ripple's. And one thing that we also see is that in those years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, there was a lot of expansion within the XRP space and a lot of, XRP being moved around and purchased from a retail perspective. What are your thoughts on Deaton's commentary there? Here's the XRP ecosystem growing, and it became less of an investment contract of Ripple's.
Well, here's the weird thing. So I'm kind of hung up on the whole Perkins Coie, because Perkins Coie was responsible as one of the law firms, I believe, that went to Ethereum, or helped. Remember that whole thing that went down with the law firm that met with the SEC. There's a whole. I think Perkins Coie was one of them. But I don't know if that holds a lot of water. Now, what I think is significant about that is that they were seeking out guidance from Perkins Coie, which is arguably one of the larger law firms in the United States. And at that time in 2012, who really had the competency level with such a brand new technology? But I read through that. It's pretty long, the opinion that they rendered, but they did give a lot of pro and con type of stuff. Like, overall, we believe it's not. But then they gave some small little side items. Well, you shouldn't be giving it to employees as payment. You shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. So there was a whole lot of thought that went into crafting that. And I'm sure they got paid a lot of money, probably an XRP. Who knows? It could have been XRP. But the whole point of it is that it was an opinion. And again, you could go to 10 other law firms. They might give you 10 different opinions. But I think the significance is that in 2012, they were thinking ahead enough to say, let's go to one of the top law firms and let's find out where the guardrails are, at least what an attorney position would be from the idea, is it a security or not? And I believe this was probably shared with the SEC at some point. And that's the whole thing with 8 years. So 8 years later, you come riding in, with your pillar enforcement under your arm, it's like, and then you but again, but here's the funny thing about this, Jeff. One of the things that you and I surmised back in December of 2020, when this lawsuit hit, when everyone was freaked out and selling bags and chaos and hitting the wall, and everybody was nervous and screaming like, oh no. You and I were the first ones to say, I believe, that this might be the fastest way to get some clarity. And it's still a year plus into it. It's still looking like the fastest way to get some clarity because Congress, nothing. They've done nothing, Jeff.
They've done less than nothing. Actually, in fact,
they've done butt kiss, nothing, zilch,
which is amazing because we have some bills that have been placed in front of Congress and then nothing, and that's really it's really troubling. But now we're getting a lot more people speaking up, potentially getting nothing, but eventually we'll get something.
Jeff, every once in a while you see some. Every once in a while you see something. I've followed the Defiant for a long time. I love the videos, and of course, I talk a lot about about DeFi, the Defiant. So this video is probably the best thing I've seen in a long time. But let's put this up on the screen. This is a very short clip. It's 13 seconds. That's shorter than almost anything we do here. Well, let's just see what happens here.
And
you got Gensler. So if you're listening to this, basically a guy sitting there turns his head, a cartoon-esque, Gensler opens his mouth, some kind of weird blood comes shooting out of it, like some kind of a serpent. And he gets slimed with some blood. Nasty, man.
That's some crazy stuff.
I like it. That's why I watch it more time. Let's see, I'll turn it down over.
And
and see what those were, Jeff. You look, they were like little bombs, little daggers that shot at him or something. Oh yeah, little daggers. Oh damn.
That's awesome. Jeez.
And of course he comes back, he's all bloody.
Oh, they all shot out.
Yeah, they all shot out.
One. Thought it was just one at first. Let's see.
Womp, 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 womp. Boom.
Oh, look at that. One by one. Boom, boom, boom. That's crazy.
You got Gensler big time.
You got Gensler.
We need to save this clip and keep it around for a little bit.
I like it.
Gensler.
All right. Get Gensler. So check this out. I thought this was kind of cool. StefanHubert.truth posted this up here. Just a random Twitter sleuth looking for some truth, educated writer, Counselor Stark, and then some other stuff written in there. I'm not going to read because no idea what it says. But the SEC Gov wants to ensure transparency and explain Main Street investors how the agency fulfills their goal of maintaining fair and orderly markets. With this framework, the SEC shows the time that goes into their decision process, whether to crack down or improve a digital asset. Now, when we get into it, it's interesting because his nice little graphic, here we have kind of ETH consensus, ETH Foundation approved, XRP Ripple, XRPL Foundation, fraud alert. But so we go over question or number one. Was the blockchain funded in a traditional way and not through an ICO? ETH? No. XRP? Yes. Was the blockchain developed in the US and did it adhere to US laws? ETH, consensus, ETH Foundation? No. XRP, XRPL? Yes. 3, were the identities of the investors transparently disclosed during financing? ETH? No. Ripple, XRP, XRPL? Yeah, you see the theme that's kind of developing here. The outcome. Were the largest holdings made transparent and the identities not deliberately disguised? We get the idea. Yes and no. Did the financing of the blockchain comply with tax and money laundering laws? Oh, look at this. ETH Foundation? No. XRP, XRPL? Yes. Is there no information asymmetry? For example, are sales to fund the business disclosed? Oh, look.
I know the answer.
No. Okay, here. Without looking. Are tokens only sold to institutional investors and is KYC adhered in sales? What do you say, ETH?
I'll say no, Jeff.
And XRP?
Yes.
Spot on. Is the blockchain already built and doesn't need to be completely rebuilt to survive?
No,
How- ETH
absolutely not.
is ETH
Nope.
perfect?
No.
Where is ETH 2.0? Are we on 3.0 now?
Jeff, 6 years in, we still don't have it. So they might do like that Windows thing where they just skipped a whole number. They
That
went
might
from
be a
like
good
8
idea. They
to
should
10
go
or
to
something
like
like that.
3.1.
They should just give it up. It's
Yeah.
not.
How do you like
it's
this
not
one? Can the
happening anytime
blockchain
soon.
work without users having to freeze their tokens?
No.
ETH, no. XRP, yes. And the final number 10 is the say independent of the amount of tokens one holds and so organized differently than security shares. Yeah, I don't really get to understand that number 10, but
Yeah, I don't know.
let's go on.
That
So
doesn't matter.
illegality score comes up
Jeff.
with an illegality score.
That number 11 could be like, well, and it would still be no and yes. You don't even know what it is. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like no and yes, no matter what.
Approved by the SEC. ETH Foundation, yes. XRPL, no. Transparent,
that's
legal,
solid.
legitimate, and safe for retail.
I
mean,
like
this
that.
that was I like that. When you put an infographic like that in front of people, you're like, oh, I get it.
Solid. That is solid as a
get it.
rock right there, Jeff.
It's solid as a rock.
Solid. I love it. Very good stuff, man. Very good stuff. So and kind of in the vein of that, let's put this little guy up here. Want to throw this story up here. This is interesting. I think people find this interesting. I hope so. So this is there's always, remember that what was it? The Monty Python, always look on the bright side of life. Remember that song they used to sing? They look on the bright side of life.
Yeah.
Right side of life.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Yep. That's the one, Jeff. I'm proud of you. You remember
That's
that.
the one.
I'm probably, before we get into that though, I do want to say,
And they happen to be up on a crucifix while they're singing that.
they were doing that. That's right. So there's K-HUD, freedom. There's a little money bag there. And then of course we have K-HUD again here with the more people they can scare out of the market, the better the government and the powers that be.
Interesting.
Interessante. I like that, Jeff. I do like that a lot. And then here we go.
That's worthy of a shirt.
What's that?
Another one that's worthy of putting on a shirt.
Oh, correct. So correct. You are 100% correct. So this one was interesting. So you remember BlockFi. So there's like this tweet here. BlockFi looks on the bright side of life. Anyone would get upset for $50 parking ticket, but not everyone would take $100 million fine like a win. So I don't think anybody would, Jeff, but you got to look on the bright side, right?
That's right.
And so happy to be regulated. Fallout from the BlockFi settlement. It's a matter of speculation. Perspective too. Record-breaking $100 million fine could mark the dawn of a new era for crypto lending platforms.
Like they got away with a small fine.
Might seem unlikely that BlockFi founder and CEO Zach Prince would describe a prosecution that resulted in a $100 million fine for his company as a win, not only for BlockFi, but the broader cryptocurrency industry. But that is indeed what he said, and he might be right, although it remains to be seen for now. So BlockFi was founded in 2017, New Jersey-based crypto financial institution, team of 850 people, 1 million clients worldwide. It's popular BlockFi interest account product with 500,000 users, including over 400,000 in the U.S., was the object of a cease and desist order from the Securities and Exchange Commission. Jeff, there's another one, big bad boys, and 32 state attorneys generals on July 20th, 2021. Statement at the time by the New Jersey Attorney General's office alleged that BlockFi was selling unregistered securities in the form of interest-earning cryptocurrency accounts that have raised at least $14.7 billion. So if it's raised $14.7 billion, $100 million, seems like nothing. And it said on February 14th, the SEC announced they charged BlockFi with failing to register the offers and sales of its retail crypto lending product. BlockFi was also charged with misleading investors by stating that its institutional loans were typically over-collateralized, when in fact, no more than 24% of the loans ever were. In the order instituting proceedings, it's noted that there's an operational oversight that happened after it became clear large financial institutions were simply unwilling to over-collateralize their loans. So the whole idea is that, I guess in some ways, you can kind of look at this that, regulation's here to stay. I mean, who are they going to go after next, Jeff? Celsius, is that the next one up there? BitTrue?
Celsius, BitTrue, Kraken, the list.
Anything offers BlockFi, right?
Anyone they want at this point. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty much wide open. I mean, they really decide, right now they got their arm around the Ethereum Foundation, like, hey, buddy, pal, don't worry about it. And then it's just those two guys left, and they're like, well, sorry for doing this, but you knew the time would come, and we're coming after you too.
And also, too, Nexo reportedly stopped paying interest on the U.S. users of its earned interest product on February 18th. Company said its earned interest product in its current form will not be available for new clients until the restructuring of the earned interest product and the registration process with the relevant regulatory bodies is finalized. In other words, it's not. I don't see that happening, but we'll see. You see that happening, Jeff?
No.
With Nexo, they're going to go above board. Or are they just going to say, well, that's not worth the trouble?
Yeah, no. There's so much going on right now. It's kind of crazy. I don't see, the SEC is coming after, almost like, they want to be vindicated, and they're coming out against all of the crypto companies very, very vindictively. So they want to be vindicated, and they're using some very underhanded tactics to go after some of these companies. And look what was going on with the library even. I mean, that's been dragging on and on and on and on and on and on. And then they asked for an extension, not library, the SEC.
Well, that's because they don't have a clear case there. And I think what they're doing is they're putting all their eggs into the Ripple suit here, because that's probably going to carry the most weight. And they don't want to get into another one where it goes off and they get a loss right away. So they're going to just keep extending it and asking for this and that. It's probably one of those things they wish they hadn't filed, because we're going to get clarity one way or the other. But again, I guess it's a win if you raise
closer.
Get 14 billion out of it, $100 million fine. It's like Kick and the Kin token, Jeff. You remember that? It was like they got such a slap on the wrist. I think their attorney bills cost more than the actual fine from the SEC. $5 million. They probably paid their attorneys more than $5 million. It's like, okay, you got it. Okay, you're busted. Okay, what's going to happen? You pay $5 million. That's it. Yeah, we can keep everything else. Yeah.
I mean, it's so crazy.
Okay,
it's so crazy. I mean, the whole thing is just doesn't even. They're doing it just to do, and
doesn't resonate, Jeff.
Doesn't resonate with anybody here, and everyone's like, what the heck's going on?
And K-Hud says, hold strong, cash out, blockchain backer. Yeah, and that's what about blockchain backer. He has sell points. He held true to them. He didn't oscillate. He didn't back away. He created a plan, and he stuck with it. And I give that an awful lot of credit, Jeff, because that's not easier said than done.
It is, but he's monitoring everything. He's going in very very strong. He has a strategy. He's understanding his ins, outs. He knows his risk. He knows his gain. He knows his potential loss, and he's going after it aggressively. He has to stick to what's working for him. So I agree.
I'm glad you did.
Perfect. No, thank you.
Super glad you
see John Deaton was there's a lot of commentary going on, really mentioning the judge in the case, and I thought this was really spot on. There's some commentary as we kind of go through this, but one thing he said below is an honest question that many have. I've seen a lot of negative comments lately about the judges. Your frustration is misplaced. Please note, I understand everyone's anger, but people are unrealistically expecting the judge on her own volition to throw out the case. And so I look at this. So here's Don Moberly. He said, honest question here, John. Why does the judge allow this clown show to continue? And so before we even scroll down, I know you have some commentary on this one right here, but and some people have said, we're at this point. Why doesn't the judge just throw the case out? But Chip, what happens at this point if they just dismiss the case and she says, you know what, forget this. We're just going to throw it out. Where does that put us?
It puts us further behind than that's like a time travel, Jeff. That's horrible. The worst possible thing that could happen, Jeff. Just horrible. It's like, yeah, and that's the other thing too. I mean, the SEC goes, well, you know what? We were just thinking about it. We're like, we're going to dismiss the case. It's horrible. You got to see it through. And a lot of times I see a lot of anger misplaced. And I think John Deaton's right. You got to be careful with this anger, because really, the way I look, the way the judge is handling things and granting extensions and extensions and extensions, you can't go to an appellate court and say, well, wait a minute, you were granted these 40 different extensions here. So, you had 2 years of collecting information prior to that. And you had, if it ever ended up in an appellate court, it's backed up. I mean, what are you going to do? It's like every time they ask for something, they basically got it. They weren't like overruled. No, we're going to continue on. So it's going to look really bad on the SEC. On suppose Ripple wins, or certainly gets clarity, and then on an appeal ends up in appellate court. And then, the bottom line is that's fantastic. I mean, that the judge is taking it seriously. And I know people are frustrated. A lot of times they know all the little nitty gritty details in that, but you got to look at this on a larger scale. And I also think both of these judges understand that this is a very large case that matters. The outcome of this case is going to change things here in the United States. It's potentially going to change it in other places as well. But they understand the enormity of the outcome of this project, of this case, and Ripple as a company, XRP, and everything and so forth. But I still don't care what people say. If you're talking about XRP in 2022, how is the SEC ever going to prove that it's a security? And Gary Gensler, come on in, register. You come in, you register, and then we'll talk about it, Jeff. Nobody wants to talk about it.
So, kind of along the lines of what you said, here's John Deaton continued with his commentary here. That's not how it works. The judge rules on motions that are filed before her. Ripple has not filed a motion to dismiss the case for any type of wrongdoing. The judge only knows about conflicts of interest and appearances of impropriety because I submitted a declaration citing it. To be candid, the only reason I was able to cite to those conflicts is because the SEC attacked me personally, trying to paint me as an unhinged Twitter conspiracy theorist. Unless Ripple files a motion to dismiss based on all of this info, the judge isn't going to just throw it out. I mean, this is great. So if she did throw it out, as many wish, there'd be no clarity, which is kind of what you were just saying. No clarity regarding XRP at all. The exchanges would not relist because there would be no finding that XRP is not a security. Second, she would get overturned on appeal and a new judge assigned, and the case would start over. People can disagree with me, but attacking the judge is unwarranted and misplaced. I stand by what I said in March and April of 21, even before I was granted amicus. Ripple and XRP holders got lucky having these two judges assigned. And I think, Chip, that's spot on. I agree with what John's assessment is there. And right here, the exchanges won't relist, because there's nothing. There's no outcome. Just because you dismiss, that doesn't mean dismiss with a settlement, dismiss. Right. It's just, hey, no, the SEC guys overstepped, you overreached, that's it. Case dismissed. Now, hey, now they get to, come, and now there's zero clarity. We're, like you said, we're actually set backwards because now we're in a much worse position. Much worse position. I want to see outcome. I don't want to see settlement. I want to see outcome.
Yeah, then we got to wait on Library's case to see how that one does. No, it's not a good idea. GDLT, thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. And we've got this one from Alan, very easy hydroponics, Alan. And it says, thanks for all the hard work, guys. Really appreciate all you do for the community. Everyone here appreciates it. And we appreciate you, Alan, and really everybody here. So it's, I mean, we can't do this show inside of a vacuum, although sometimes Jeff and I do. Smaller little show. It's just he and I. And we do a lot more laughing because there's a lot more laughing going on, right? Right, Jeff? But really, it takes you guys. I mean, if we didn't have an audience, what was the people that are really contributing? I mean, the comments you guys have, again, a lot of times we miss them because we talk too much. But that's what this is. You got to fill the space. If there's an odd pause somewhere, you feel like, what happened to my stream? Did it cut out? Did something happen? What's going on? You're like, something wrong. No, it's okay. It was just a pause. It was a drink of water. That usually happens when Jeff's doing his Saturday show. He's drinking some espresso, which will happen every now and again. So yeah, I appreciate that. K-Hud says, we are beautiful, hopeful people that see the possibilities. Yes, we are. Well said. Well said. We are beautiful people, Jeff. The beautiful people. The beautiful people. Remember that Marilyn Manson tune?
Oh, I
beautiful people.
That was,
the beautiful people.
That's right. That was Marilyn Manson. That was a great one.
Jeff, I saw this. Here's something that I saw, and honestly, it has nothing to do with crypto. But sometimes you got to go with it. Somebody sent us this today. This is a fun fact, by the way. Fun fact: women spend more time wondering what men are thinking than men spend actually thinking. So that's sometimes they're true, Jeff. Sometimes they're true. It's the perfect picture. I mean, you know, it's a fun fact. I think that was sent to us by Van Life. I think, yeah, Van Life sent that to us.
Oh, yeah, Van Life sent that one. That was it.
Yeah, Van Life's good with those memes, man. Those memes, he sends a lot of good memes. I don't know where he finds them, but it's really good. It's good memeage, and I really enjoy the hell out of it, man.
Rob McDermott, thank you for your support. Thanks for a great show and all your work for the community. I'm sending $17.99 plus my $2 inflation fee.
Whoa, man, we're not mandating it, man, but you know what? We do appreciate it. It's like, you know, the $2 inflation fee. Gosh, that was some
$2 inflation fee. Oh my God, that's classic.
Well, you know, it's like I posted that amongst some friends, and I was one of the things that was said was, "Is that real?" I'm like, I don't know if it's real, but I mean, do you not believe it, or do you believe it? I mean, it seems more, you know, I mean, if somebody made a receipt, put it on a table, and took it, okay, that's a good joke, but it seems almost believable at this point. I mean, you know, what's next? An inflation fee, a degradation fee, I'm going to need another, you know, at least a 12% fee for the value loss of fiat currency. The next thing you know, it'll be like the real world will look like gas fees in the crypto world. You'll be spending all this extra stuff on just completing a transaction, like we have when you're doing, like Jeff's trying to move $50 worth of ETH off of one of his wallets. It's going to cost him $100 to do it. So I think we're getting to that point where that gas fee in the ETH world is kind of starting to seep its way into our world and starting to affect us, Jeff. It's like gas fees everywhere.
It's insane. You know, here's what I'm wondering.
It's a tax.
If you end up in the metaverse, you know, right now, kind of in real world, you know, you've got all these extra expense. You got your cell phone, you got your internet, you got your cable, you've got, you know, all your memberships, you got your Amazon Prime, you got like thousands and thousands, seemingly not thousands, but there's all these memberships that keep compiling on top of each other. And at the end of the day, you're like, holy crap, how much money did I just spend? You know, all these memberships. What's going to happen when you walk into the metaverse? You know, are you going to have to start paying memberships for
taxes?
Every segment?
Have taxes, Jeff.
And there's going to be a metaverse tax, a specific metaverse tax, you know? So what's up with that? You know, why is there a specific metaverse tax? You know, there's going to be, you know, there's
you want to get your banking done.
There's going to be Ethereum gas fee, gas tax, and that gas tax is going to end up going to the federal government. So there's going to be like a metaverse gas fee, state tax, and then a federal tax on top of your gas fees. So it's going to be like everything else. They're going to find a way to
Jeff,
twist and turn in the metaverse.
In the metaverse, can you do a road trip? And let's suppose you purchase a car in the metaverse. And it just, I mean, because why does the metaverse have to look like reality? Like
why does the
your
metaverse
car,
exist?
well, that's a good point. But I mean, your car, let's suppose you buy a car, truck, or whatever you have, you purchase it, it's in the game. You never pay for gasoline or petrol, whatever you call it. You don't have to, it's not electric. Why do we have to create the same rules? I mean, why do you go to a bank in the metaverse when I'll do that on my own time? Why do I want that in the metaverse? It's bizarre and scary at the same time here. Look at this.
It's crazy, man.
It says they are making Americans financial slaves. They're making everybody in the world slaves, I would assert.
Everywhere. But
everywhere
look,
we're slaves.
If you get into that game Upland and you want to move, now they're opening different regions around the Upland verse world where you can buy properties. And in order to get from one place to the other, you have to take a train or a plane to get to the next, but it costs.
Somebody owns it.
Somebody owns that area, the port of exit or the train station, whatever it is, people own around it. And so, they get a fee. I'm sure the game people get their fee as you're moving around the world. And it's, it's kind of crazy, so that's the reality. That's where we're going to go in the metaverse. If you want to move from one space to the next, sure, there's to be all sorts of ways to monetize and memberships and more ways to take money out of your pocket.
What's the positive thing? But I want some good. I want to go escape from the regular doldrums of the day to not have to worry about the regular things that you're currently worried about. Look at this, Jeff. I wanted to show you these two tweets here. This is from Zerohedge. Russian stocks are crashing. There's the MOX index. Look at that. Look at this, up, and then bammo. That's going the wrong way right there. That's from right around 30, let's call it 3,700 down to 2,900. That's a pretty sharp drop right there. And then here from Cointelegraph says Russians own 12% of crypto wealth. Think about that. Citizens of Russia have been stockpiling gold alongside its wealth fund. Central bank. Now think about this, Jeff. Why would they be doing that in Russia? Do you think it has anything to do with the fiat currency? Do you think it has anything to do with it?
They're one step ahead.
They're 2 steps ahead, really. Look, the central bank has been stockpiling gold. China and Russia are working on introducing an independent financial system. Now look at the commodity production of for both countries. Interesting, huh? Some interesting things to think about.
Well, so keep that thought process in place because everything is interconnected. You don't know how many times we've mentioned that. We can say super hypey like everybody else and just focus on price movements and and be excited about that, or we can discuss the reality of what's happening, what's impacting the price movements of fiat and all of the different elements that interact with one another that can actually truly impact the valuation of cryptocurrency. And you brought one solid point up. There's Russia, stocks crashing, things are happening, things are real. The shit has hit the fan around the world, and we kind of know who's relatively responsible. But here you have, so here's Charles Gasparino breaking. U.S. financial executives say, based on conversations with the White House and the Federal Reserve, the cross-border settlement system known as SWIFT, we all know SWIFT, will likely not be shut down if Biden cranks up sanctions against Russia over Ukraine. Big U.S. banks have been monitoring their counterparty risk regarding Russia for the past month and are said to be prepared for the fallout if or when severe sanctions are imposed at 1:22 p.m. That's when he did his show. So what do we think of this? Now, in relation to what you were just talking about,
I'm
it's
laughing,
really
Jeff.
an interesting point. SWIFT, they want to shut it down, but they won't shut it down. Why are you laughing?
Well, because this whole thing is a joke. There's nothing going on about this. And if you want to, we can't. There's things that I want to say, but I'm just not going to go there. But let's just say this is that, wag the dog. This is like, hey, you're doing this. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I was like, what's your evidence of it? We declassified information. Well, where is it? I just told you we declassified it. I know, but where is it? So this is like the kind of thing that's going on. We actually moved into a world where where nothing makes sense anymore, Jeff. And it's like, I have a video of you lighting somebody on fire. No, you don't. He's on fire right now. No, he's not. Okay, who's on fire? I don't know. This is like nothing matters anymore, and people will just deny stuff where just about 10, 15, 20 years ago, you've been like, that's crazy town, Jeff. Speaking of crazy town, look at this. You're going to love this one. So Brian Armstrong put out this tweet. He was talking about
crazy
town. He's not crazy. I'm just saying.
But speaking of crazy town, here's Brian Armstrong.
No, I'm just talking about crazy town. Like this tweet, the whole idea behind the tweet. He says, he says, well, it's a whole thing. He talks about I'm not going to go through that. He says, folks asked about details about how our Super Bowl ad came to be. Well, here's the quick backstory. We bought it without knowing what we do. Initially, an outside agency pitched us a bunch of standard Super Bowl ideas. Didn't like any of them. Side note, never made sense to me why we should like a product because a famous person got paid to say they like it. So we went back and brainstormed, came up with a bunch of wild ideas. Some of these would go down the road, but didn't have enough time to produce. Let's think about like an Apple in 1984, some crypto native stuff, etc. We were running short on time in a few weeks, and one of the original ideas we included was putting a QR code at the end. This was partially inspired by Reddit's superb owl commercial at previous Super Bowl. Key insight was, if you could only flash something on the screen for a moment, people will Google it later. How do we get them from TV to phone to convert? Sounds pretty good, right? Kristen Cavallo said, well, actually it was inspired by presentations our agency showed your team on August 18th, pages 19 through 24, and on October 7th, pages 11 through 18 with ad concepts for the Super Bowl with floating QR codes on a blank screen. Boom. Holy cow, Jeff. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Jeff. Wowza, huh?
What in the world is that all about?
It was like, she puts the pages too. These were the days we met. See, unlike the SEC, she keeps much better notes. She knows exactly when she met. And if you look, you say, well, who is Kristen Cavallo? She is the swashbuckling mama. That's her words, not mine, but she's a swashbuckling mama.
I was wondering how you came up with that.
She's a swashbuckling mama right there. Taking her kids on international escapades and the CEO of the Martin Agency. So she runs the Martin Agency, which I'm guessing is an ad firm, right? That's what I'm probably guessing
cool.
there. Yeah, so they pitched it, and a swashbuckling mama. There you go. And Jeff, you know what time it is, Jeff?
What time is it? It's almost time.
I'm going to give you an idea right there.
What time is it?
It's almost that time.
What time is it,
well,
Chip?
Officially, it's time to subscribe, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you're notified when the next video drops. Simple, easy. Just go ahead and you click on the subscribe, you click on the bell, and bingity done.
Yeah, but check this out. We do stream Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Stein.
Eastern Stein. That's like Frankenstein. Eastern Stein. Frankenstein.
We're going to go. You come with us at 8 p.m. Eastern
Stein. We build him, make him stronger. I'm Frankenstein. I'm Eastern Stein. Frankenstein's brother. I'm Eastern Stein.
Meet us at 8 p.m. Eastern Stein.
That's all it takes, Jeff. One little flub and then boom.
I know this is easily. This is very
easily.
The Eastern
That's going to end up on a shirt. XRP. Easily. Just put easily.
It's
on the chain. Easily. Better than most podcasts.
It's easily with the Eastern Stein. What it was with the E's. So Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time.
Eastern. You know what they keep saying? You know how to say it now.
Eastern time.
You sure it's not Eaststein?
Eastern Stein. We get to Stein.
Yeah.
Get the Stein. The crypto Stein.
See?
Yeah, see?
That's what it is, see?
So tomorrow night is Tuesday. Felt like a Sunday today, but tomorrow is Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back here. Susan Chipple at 7 Western Stein.
Western Stein, see?
Western Stein, see? And Sir John is way over there in Eastern Stein.
He's
in Croatia, which is Eastern Stein.
Croatstein.
So anyhow, that's it. That's what we got, Chip.
That's all we have.
That's all we got. We got nothing else. Tomorrow night, come with your steins. You can bring your Eastern Stein or your Western Stein. Make sure you got some good
Fill 'em up.
German beer in there, and that's it.
That's
And we'll
it.
be good to go for tomorrow. So
That's right. We'll see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff Outstein. See ya.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.